I am really proud of Minnesota's new state flag and seal. This is a process that has been ongoing for quite a long time and has involved contributions and comments from many, many thousands of people. I do think that anytime a new important symbol, flag, seal, or others, is chosen, it will upset some people and thrill others. And it has been exactly that way here in Minnesota. I do think that our shared symbols are really best serving the public interest when they are simple, um, easily understood, and speak to large, overarching themes or concepts that are unique to our place that everyone can get behind. I knew some of the artists and contributors in the process, and there were cases to be made for or against any number of the symbols chosen, but ultimately I feel like we can all get behind what our new symbols are. For the flag, you have really just a couple of colors in the shape of the state of Minnesota. You have a dark blue field with an 8-pointed star, which is meant to represent the shape of our state, and then the 8-pointed star, the letter M, facing each of the four directions, Minnesota being the North Star state. And then there's the blue field, since there are waterways in every single county in the state of Minnesota. That speaks to a common experience and identifying feature of this geographic place. With the state seal, we have our state bird, the loon, and we also have wild rice, the water, and these are also things that are identifying features in Minnesota. And then the caption is Minnesota Makoche. In fact, the word Minnesota comes from the Dakota language. Mini means water, and soda is a reference to the clouds. So it's really, and Makoche means place. So Minnesota Makoche means the place where the clouds are reflected in the water. And that is the original Dakota name for this place. It's where Minnesota gets the name for its state. And to me, seems like a very, good way to go ahead and put a moniker on the flag. Again, keeping it simple, speaking to its identifying features, where the word Minnesota comes from, and so forth. I imagine some people will be upset. In fact, I've seen comments upset, oh, this is about white erasure and things like that. But I think those are really misguided perspectives and beliefs. And ultimately, Andrew Precker, who developed the flag, was looking for unifying symbols with our North Star state and water in all of our counties. And Ross Brugnick, who developed the seal, also was looking for unifying themes and symbols that everyone, including our legislature, had already adopted: our state bird, North Star state, and so forth. These new symbols will become official in their usage on Minnesota's Statehood Day, May 11th of 2024. I think it's worthy of note that this provides an opportunity to unify us, pull us together, that the former symbols we had used had some problems. In fact, Minnesota, being part of the original Northwest Territory around the Great Lakes, which had included Wisconsin and what's now Wisconsin and now Minnesota originally, had its evolution in connection with our neighboring state. And the original territorial seal for the state of Wisconsin had an image of a native loading onto a steam barge. And if you know the history in Wisconsin, the Ho-Chunk, also known as Winnebago Indians, had endured 9 separate relocation orders, including relocation to southeastern Minnesota, to a reservation at Long Prairie in central Minnesota, down to Blue Earth in southern Minnesota, and then out of the state entirely after the U.S. Dakota War in 1862, which the Ho-Chunk had nothing to do with. So having that image in the Wisconsin seal was problematic in Wisconsin. There was in the Wisconsin seal a white farmer who was industriously plowing the land, And then there was the State House in the background and a caption in Latin which said, "Civilization succeeds barbarism." So that original image in Wisconsin spoke to the erasure and relocation of natives as a point of progress. It's worthy of note because the Minnesota seal, which and flag, which had been used for so long, the Minnesota flag had incorporated a very similar image. In this case, it was the Dakota native on horseback, kind of riding west into the setting sun, with a white farmer industriously plowing the land, looking over his shoulder with a wary eye on the native, and invoked this parallel imagery, obviously inspired by what had been used in Wisconsin for Minnesota's defining features of who we are and what this land and state is all about. Also, there was a cut down tree, kind of an image of deforestation with an axe in the tree and a gun leading against the tree, which seemed to invoke, symbolism related to logging, deforestation, violence, things like that. And I think ultimately, regardless of how people feel about those particular things, we would all have to agree that there's at least some controversy around them and that they did not perform the function of unifying. Whereas I think something like water, North Star, are much easier for all of us to identify with or share space under. So I do think that there was kind of a DEI benefit to the flag and seal redesigns. And I think the seal in particular is especially beautiful. The image is good. And I think there may be a period where some people are getting used to it. But ultimately, it'll be something that helps pull us all together. In addition to that, I think just with regard to designs and their function, many, many flags, both the state flags across the United States of America and, national flags across the world, many have incorporated stars. Many have had, stripes or, 2 or 3 colors. We've seen that happen with the Texas and with the North Carolina flags, for example. I think ultimately this is a little bit more in keeping with general, flag design and function to be an easily identified symbol. Also, just with regard to change and how upsetting that can be to many people, bear in mind that the US flag has changed numerous times. And when they changed from the original 13 stars, there were lots of Americans who were super upset. We should keep it the same. And if we listened to them, there would still only be 13 stars on the US flag. And every time one was added, there was somebody upset. Ultimately, I think it's good to make careful decisions about how we design a flag. But ultimately, we can't just let a few angry or upset voices derail the entire process. And I do imagine maybe at some point in the future, there will be determinations made to upgrade ours or other state seals and flags in the future. And ultimately, this is kind of what democracy is all about. We should be responsive to the will of the voters and the people and what it represents, who we are, what we stand for, and what our symbols should be. So to me, the flag and seal design is not about taking anything away from anyone else. It's not about erasing anyone or anything else. I imagine that some people would say, hey, why are they taking the native off the flag? Or why are they taking the white guy off the flag? But if you think about all the kinds of diversity we have in our state, if you put any humans on the flag, you'd have to have 100 of them, to have any kind of representation of who's here. And that may become outdated in a short matter of time as well. So sticking to these kind of broader unifying symbols and themes is going to be the best way going forward. Miigwech. Thank you. Thanks for watching today. I'm Anton Treuer. Let's keep in touch. I'm active on social media, and my website has lots of information on my books, speaking engagements, resources for the Ojibwe language, teachers, and more. Miigwech.